what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and the glasses are back on. I finally decided to just wear them for the video. I usually take them off, but who cares? I felt like putting them on. I can actually see now. But anyway, this video is going to be of my Guitar Hero haul. Now, this is probably the most important haul out of the millions of hauls that I've done on this channel at this point, because it's for something that is going to be my most meaningful accomplishment if I'm able to accomplish it at all. So what I essentially am doing, and let me just get into an explanation first, is a full series FC is what I'm grinding. So I've been in the Guitar Hero community for years. I've been playing the game since I was 10 years old. I am now almost 22, and I've gotten to the point where passing songs is not enough. I got a full combo FC every single song. So let me go over some terminology before I get into this video, because I'm going to be using them a lot. Let's start off with the simple one. Full combo essentially is getting 100% on a song without losing your combo. So not overstrumming, because you can still get 100% even if you overstrum. You can still hit every note but lose your combo by overstrumming. It's essentially hitting every single note in the song without doing that. And I am doing this on Expert, by the way. A full game FC is when you get an FC of every single song in that Guitar Hero game, usually either on the career or the quick play set list. Sometimes the quick play set list has more than the career set list, but in this instance, for the most part, other than a few select games that don't show your score in quick play, I'm doing a majority of this in quick play right now, which is essentially just the standard way of playing the game without doing like the story mode or career mode, as they call it in a majority of these, or quest in Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. But so a full series FC essentially is when you go in full game FC every song in the series, minus Guitar Hero Live, because the community doesn't really count that one towards the series since it's a much different game, and minus the DS games and Band Hero, since no one really counts Band Hero as Guitar Hero. So all the games in that franchise for the full series FC that I'm going to be talking about include Guitar Hero 1, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero Encore Rock the 80s, Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, Guitar Hero World Tour, Guitar Hero Smash Hits, Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero 5, and Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. I think I listed all of those correctly. So those are the games that are in the full series, and that ultimately is what I'm going for. I've been in the community for a very long time, and I'm very happy to say that a lot of them are backing me for this accomplishment I've been trying to do. It's been done before, now countless times, since the game has been out for over 15 years, but this is just something that I've wanted to do on my own for a very long time, since this is a game essentially that I've been grinding pretty much like my whole life. Like, my Guitar Hero YouTube channel is now turning the age that I was when I started it, so absolutely insane. So we're going to be doing this. I'm going to be showing the games that I got, and the reason that I bought a ton of them was because I came across a new piece of tech. So initially, I had the Xbox 360 versions of this game, the PC versions, PS2 and all that stuff, and I kind of shied away from the PS3 version since the guitars have always been very, very expensive. The engine on these games has been very similar to the 360 version, so it's still a great way to play it. But the hardware has always been expensive, and it's honestly, to me, has never been as good as the 360 hardware. My favorite guitar, however, is the Wii Les Paul. I love the way that the frets feel on the thing. I love the way that the strum bar feels on the thing. I'm going to get a modded one down the line, but essentially, I came across a piece of tech by this modder named Retro Cult Mods, who essentially made it to where they made an adapter that pretty much makes the guitar universal, except on Xbox 360, where you will need a RGH Xbox 360, which I technically have, but I want to do the full series on an unmodded console. So this essentially lets me use the Wii guitar that I've been using forever on my PS3 now. So I decided to get all the Guitar Hero games on PS3 so that I can use this specific controller to do so, especially because it was the first Guitar Hero controller I ever used, and it's still lasting to this day. So yeah, I rambled a lot. I kind of did a lot of explaining here, but to sum it all up, I'm going for a full series, and I just bought every single entry of the Guitar Hero franchise on PS2 and PS3. So let's take a look at what I got in this haul. There were games I had already that weren't in this haul, which is why I didn't add them. But as of this video, I have a full series Guitar Hero collection across every single platform, meaning I have every single PC version, I have every Wii version, every PS3 version, and every Xbox 360 version. So I now own every single Guitar Hero across every single platform. I even own the DS games now on top of that. So without further ado, guys, let's look at what I got. Somewhere down the line, I probably will be doing a Guitar Hero / Rock Band collection video, since this is pretty much the game that I play the most out of everything in my collection. So I'm going to start off with the PS2 and DS stuff first. This is stuff I wanted to add for quite a while now. Well, to be fair, everything here is what I wanted to add, but I figured I'd go in order with what I pretty much got. So first off, I got the guitar grip for On Tour Modern Hits, essentially. I already have a guitar grip from Guitar Hero On Tour Decades. This means now that I own all of the DS Guitar Hero games as well. I don't think I'm ever going to get serious with these games because they are a lot harder, and I find that my grip falls out of the DS a lot easier since my DS GBA port isn't the greatest. So I'm probably not going to be getting heavily into the DS versions of this game, but it's still cool to have them nonetheless. I think they were very interesting entries to the franchise, and as a matter of fact, my first Guitar Hero game was Guitar Hero On Tour Decades, which had some really, really cool songs in there, which ended up being on Guitar Hero World Tour for the most part as well, but that was that. I figured I'd just add this one. This one was one of the big ones on DS that a lot of people still talk about, so I figured I would pick that one up and just add that to the collection since it was one that I was missing. Next up, we got Guitar Hero Metallica. So this is the one for the PS2. This engine is both good and bad. Now, the one thing is, this is never, I don't believe it's been full game FC'd on PS2 before. The strumming engine on PS2 isn't exactly the greatest, so it will cause you to miss in random spots. So I think I remember correctly when I've heard that it's never been done on PS2, but I could be completely wrong. Regardless, I don't think I'm going to be going for it on PS2. My long-range goal is to eventually full game FC across every single platform, but I don't think that's ever going to happen in my lifetime just because that's thousands and thousands and thousands of songs to go through. And plus, once I have to replay and regrind, and some of these songs I'm not even going to want to grind once, let alone like 5 times. So this one is one of my favorite games in the franchise, honestly. Just overall an amazing game just because, one, I really love Metallica, and two, a lot of the artists in this game that collaborated with Metallica, or at least like performed with them or were closely related, were also really good choices on this game. So there's that one. We will put that one down. We also got Guitar Hero 5, which in my opinion is the weakest game in the franchise. A lot of people disagree with me on that one, but I felt like this one kind of just came out for no reason. There was no big reason to have released this version of the game. I felt like Guitar Hero 3 had such a much bigger impact. Guitar Hero 2 had a much bigger impact, and especially Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, I felt like that one was one that really had something where there were good songs in this game. I'm not going to lie. There were some really good songs in these games, on this game right here, but I feel like this one didn't really, like, a lot of the songs in there didn't really make sense to me in a Guitar Hero game, at least to me. And plus, this is the absolute worst version of this game to play. It's not anywhere close to how it looks on any of the newer consoles. And this was also the last Guitar Hero... Actually, Van Halen, I think, would have been the last Guitar Hero game to be released on PS2. Because this one was... I think this one actually came out before Van Halen. And then it was Warriors of Rock. But, yeah, there's that one out of the way. There is also Guitar Hero Smash Hits. I believe this one was full game FC'd as well, probably a few times at this point. I've always loved this game. The community hates this one for some reason because the charting for the songs weren't great. Just the note placement and all that stuff. A lot of people didn't like the way that it was done on here. I personally didn't mind it. This is one of my favorite games in the franchise to just play because it's got pretty much all the cool songs from all the classic Guitar Hero games, being Guitar Hero 1, 2, 3, and Aerosmith. So I always thought this one was a pretty fun one. I now, like I said, own this on every single platform, as I own every Guitar Hero game on every single platform. But, yeah, this one is probably, like, if not the hardest, maybe the second hardest in the franchise to full game FC. And that is because of the chart up through the Fire and Flames in here being absolutely brutal compared to the Guitar Hero 3 chart. Plus the engine being worse than Guitar Hero 3, making it even harder to achieve something like that. Now, another game that has never been full game FC'd on PS2, Guitar Hero Van Halen. So, actually, I think Metallica was full game FC'd on GH2. On PS2, but I could be wrong. Van Halen has never been full game FC'd on PS2 because of a song called I'm the One. It is possible. It's definitely doable. There's a few people in the community that are going for it currently. One of them being Infrareign. Definitely go sub to him. Hope that he makes some progress and finally takes down the song. The strumming in that song is ridiculously fast, and on a PS2 engine, it is absolutely brutal. Plus, I'm not a fan of the SG in terms of its strumming capabilities. Like, that's the guitar that you would use on there. I'm not a fan of its strumming capabilities on there, so I actually, if I were to be doing this, I'd be using my Wii guitar. Chances are I'm not going to go for the full game FC on PS2 just because if it hasn't been done by anybody else, it's probably not going to be done by me. There's so much better players in the community, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll overshoot and go for this one. But this is easily I would say this is probably the hardest game in the franchise to get the full game FC, and that is just from I'm the One alone. You also have to worry about songs like Eruption. You have to worry about songs like Spanish Fly. There's just a lot of really hard songs on this game that make it to where this is probably the hardest game in the franchise. Arguably, most of the community agrees that this is probably the hardest one. So that's all of the PS2 games. Let's move on to PS3, in which I'm going to start off with Guitar Hero Aerosmith. So this is the... Okay, I said Guitar Hero 5 was like the worst game in the franchise. I lied. This is the worst game in the franchise. As much of a diehard Aerosmith fan that I am, I've always loved Aerosmith. This is the most boring game to just grind through in general because the songs are too easy and they just don't feel fun on Guitar Hero. I don't know. There's like a few songs on here that are fun. Like, I'd say Back in the Saddle's fun. Joe Perry Guitar Battle. Train Kept A-Rollin', even though it's a piece of garbage of a chart. This is easily the worst one in the franchise. It's also the only game in the franchise I've actually full game FC'd. I did it back on Guitar Hero Aerosmith PC, which when you unlock the frame rate, it makes it to where the engine is much looser and easier for you to hit notes. So I'm going for it now on PS3 since I just want to get it all over again. And plus I lost the setlist scroll of my video where I went through the setlist to show all the gold stars on everything. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And I don't have proof of it any longer, so I would love to definitely go back and redo this. I mean, I wouldn't love to go back and do this because the game sucks, but you know what? It's something I have to do. I feel like I've already FC'd Joe Perry Guitar Battle, which is the second hardest song in the game, and that was within a day of grinding it. So I don't think this one will take very long. It's really just me procrastinating it because it's such a boring game. Next up, we have a double, essentially, because I already had this game. We just talked about it. Guitar Hero Metallica. Engine is a little bit better on PS3. I personally played a little bit of it so far, and it's very comparable to the Xbox 360. What I didn't mention about what was hard about this one was the chart of 1 by Metallica has sliders on it. Essentially, the notes that you don't have to strum at all, even if you miss your combo. So what's weird about those notes, though, is they're extremely tight. You have to hit them extremely accurately, or you will miss. And it sucks, especially on engines like this and Guitar Hero World Tour. They really made sliders like the most incomprehensible thing to hit on Guitar Hero Van Halen, World Tour, and Metallica. And honestly, maybe more so Metallica and World Tour, especially World Tour, but definitely isn't fun trying to hit them on here. So this one, I don't think I'll do for a long time. I'm capable of hitting the section of 1. I've FC'd the song on Clone Hero on PC, which is significantly easier than doing it on something like this, but I do have the capability of FC'ing the chart, so one of these days, I'm hoping this is one that I knock out pretty quickly, since most of the other songs in the game, where they are hard, they're definitely in my capability range. Another double, we literally just talked about this, Guitar Hero Van Halen being the hardest game to full game FC in the series. Now, in terms of console Guitar Hero, because I said Guitar Hero On Tour Decades was my first Guitar Hero game on DS. This was my first Guitar Hero game on console. I had this one on the Wii. It was the game that got me into Guitar Hero. It was the game that I started playing Expert on, which eventually led to me getting Guitar Hero 3 and playing all of that on there. So this one, the song list is absolutely amazing. In my opinion, even though Guitar Hero 3 is my favorite and Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock is followed by that, this probably has the best set list out of the entire franchise in terms of in a commercial standpoint, because it's got everything. I mean, it's got light rock, it's got pop, it's got heavy metal, you know, it's got everything in here for any fan that just wants to go and sit down and play the game. Like, it's even got, like, it's got pretty much everything. Like, it's got thrash, it's got heavy, it's got, you know, it's got hair metal, it's got, it's even got, like, new metal and stuff in there. Like, there's a lot of different genres, and then grunge and all that stuff. So, and then you got, like, what do you call it, Beat It by Michael Jackson in here, and then some other pop stuff. So this was definitely an awesome game for them to come out with. Only problem, the engine. Absolutely atrocious. They slightly improved on it in Metallica and Van Halen since they were based on the same engine, but the sliders in this game are absolutely broken, like beyond belief. It sucks. It's so hard to play this thing. I don't know if I will ever get this one done just because of how bad I am with sliders, and Satch Boogie easily being the hardest song in the game to me, is definitely going to be a major challenge. Hopefully with the good guitar that I have, one day I will get better at hitting those kind of notes, but honestly, I am not looking forward to grinding this one, despite loving every single song on the set list. Very last game in the haul that completed my Guitar Hero collection forever is Guitar Hero 5, which we already talked about. One of my least favorite games in the franchise. Honestly, one that I feel like didn't need to exist, but nothing really to say about that. This is probably the second easiest game in the series, right next to Aerosmith. Really, this has got like 2 hard songs, and then everything else is pretty much just filler, easy stuff from there. 2 hardest songs being 21st Century Schizoid Man, another hard song being Scatterbrain, and that's pretty much it. There's really not that much in here that I would consider that hard. So I can see this one going down pretty much as fast as... pretty much right after I do Aerosmith, if anything. I do want to grind this one out. Maybe I'll have a different opinion of it once I finally grind the full game, because when I played it before, I just got bored with it. Chances are I'm going to get bored again, but this has like 85 songs in it. Like, this is one of the longest set lists, and it's ones that I could care less about. So we'll see what happens. This grind is going to take a very long time. Who knows if it will ever be completed, if I'll ever actually truly get full series, but all I know is that I'm going to try, and I'm very happy that the community is backing me on this. They've been really, really supportive. I love these guys. If you want to take a look at my YouTube channel for Guitar Hero and maybe just view my progress of this, GHRG is my channel, and it will be linked in the description, just like in every one of my videos. This was everything right here, though, guys. This is the start of a major, major grind. That's what I've been doing lately, just grinding Guitar Hero. As of this video, I have 66 FCs on Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. I have 29 out of the 41 on Aerosmith, and I think I only got a few on Guitar Hero 2, but I'm going to be grinding everything. At some point in some video, I'm going to show every Guitar Hero game that I have in the collection and just kind of showcase it. And then I'm going to show my controllers that I have, because I have way too many of these things. But yeah, guys, that is literally everything. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I will see you all in the next one.